which riders owned it way before that.
Yeah.
So, we're just getting to the point where we just need to slowly move on,
Yep.
but, yeah. I think it's about, I'm drawing a blank. That ditch that comes through there, they check that every time they come, like the federal inspector. So, which will never be blocked or anything.
Will you continue to use your main entrance where it is now?
Yeah, yeah, that entrances will not change at all. It'll be, it's, in a way, this would be like more in-house, where everything will be happening, where, so the main entrance, nothing new popping up. We still run Monday through Friday, very occasionally on a Saturday, but we try to not operate on Saturdays and Sundays. So. Okay. Any other questions?
Public comments? No? Nobody got it, it's, 6:46. Any comments on the first row? Yep, go ahead, come on, state your name.
Randy Stevens, I live on Troy Avenue, just off of that 250. So I'm just curious, I theorized that Siegels is the one to expand. I'm just curious to hear that that's in fact what was happening. I've got no objection to it. Like I said, I live on that Julian ditch. I'm just on the far end of it, so I'm as far away as you can get from 250. But, yeah, just curious to see what was going on.
Okay.
So, yeah. We're for small business.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the first row? Second row? Third row? Anybody on the fourth row? Public comments? Okay, we'll close it at 6:47. Any other comments from the board? You want me to, since I'm right next to it, you want me to abstain, or what do you want me to do? It's legal counsel's recommendation. I have no problem with it.
I don't think it's you're not direct conflict with it, you just live close.
Yeah.
All right, and I travel the road every day, there's no problem out there. I figured that when I moved out here, to try to go over that road here, wouldn't be a problem. The road stays pretty fair.
Yeah.
Down here,
I used to live right down the road from it, and Tim does a great job of keeping the road cleaned up, and the trucks are,
it's a good business in the area.
yeah, they do a great job. Actually, we were snowed in 2013 or whatever, and Tim brought he got the whole road out. So Tim, great asset to the area, and is gonna try to do everything right for everybody down there, so.
I don't even notice the trucks. I'm home, I don't even notice the trucks anymore.
I make a motion that we pass a favorable recommendation for this rezone to the Carroll County Commissioners.
Marion makes another one. All those in favor of making a favorable recommendation to the commission, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, moving on to the next one. Director's report.
So you guys have in front of you a resolution that we will be discussing next month's meeting. I just want to make sure you had it tonight to give you plenty of time to look at it. It'll be on the agenda for next month, so that's why that was there. I know a lot of you are looking at it with some questions. You have the township report by chance. Other than the numbers for new homes are still way down, I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. We've gotten just a couple more. We have a few that's gonna be coming up within a week or two. Other than that, it's just the standard daily operation. We get a lot of phone calls, a lot of questions, but right now everything's just, it's slow, other than what can I do for when the time's right to do it. And then we township reports and see the numbers. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of changes. Gloria, like I always say, does a great job handling things, while in meetings. I will be in South Bend, next month for a couple of days for the annual flood training. I just took some FEMA classes, and I was accepted into the Carroll County Leadership Academy that started last week. So staying busy with that and within the office, so a lot of things coming up. A lot of FEMA trainings were thrown out, a lot of changes getting ready to come down the pipeline. Some of it affects Donnie's office with things that we're gonna be trying to work with surveyors, and I think that the surveyors now have to start, don't have to, but they're gonna be encouraged to, the GIS, or what was it they just passed a couple weeks, or the state's recommended that you guys start, it wasn't the GIS, was it putting all the drains into the GIS layer? Is that what it was? About a month ago?
Sure, we haven't ever eaten yet, we got it next week, now too.
I got an email from the International Association of Surveyors, and they're actually gonna be at this conference, so I think the reason for that is there's so many fields that are now have private tiles into them. The rivers that did not flood, the creeks that did not flood prior, now there's a lot more water coming to them. So how do they regulate that? How do they document where they're at? Because right now they're all over the United States and nobody has any idea until there's a suck hole in it, or it breaks and floods a yard or a field. So they're gonna try to tie all that in with the DNR part of it when it comes to flood permits and the new floodplain maps, which change every week. So working through that is just a couple meetings I've seen, it's been pretty interesting. So it's gonna be a lot to it. The state health department is changing a lot of rules now. It's gonna really, really change some things for new homes. And in existing homes, the state just changed something this week or last week that it's gonna throw a curveball to a lot of people for current septic systems that are, used to be able to say your grandfather did. The state has changed some things, and Kevin didn't go through everything with me, but he said it's gonna be a lot of holdups at every county level. So we'll work through those as we get them, but, you know, that's out of our control. We have to follow what the state says, or otherwise we pay the consequences. So Kevin does a great job in there working through them, and since he's been in the office, getting the health department permits for new homes has been a very easy process. He does a great job, so. Other than that, his name is Kevin
Fessler.
Fessler. Yeah, he is,
He's the environmental.
yep, he has done a great job. He's come in, hit the road running, and done a lot of great things so far. Working with him on permits that before was kind of a challenge, or might have to wait 3 or 4 weeks. He gets a pretty quick turnaround, so he does a great job with that. So that's all I got. I know Cindy stepped out to get a drink, but she'll be right back.
You wanna talk about what you sent the email about?
Solar.
The solar
Yes,
response?
Yeah. So I got one response from Jim. We've been getting a lot of calls on, what is your ordinance for solar panel fields? Not just panels, because we get a lot of them now, they're just individual houses, as you'll see. Carroll White RMC has a display out there that those are getting common. Flora has the green alternatives. Those are very popular, but now East Coast coming this way is not just single panels, it's an entire field. So we don't have anything in place, and
We probably need to get one.
I don't know what other counties have done. I haven't sat through any of their meetings, which I'm gonna try to get a sit-down meeting with the Tippecanoe County Area Plan Director, most likely the White County, because I know they're getting a lot of calls and you know, not having anything in place, whether we just have something for protection or wanna make sure we protect our, like we discussed earlier, our ag land.
Yeah, we have some of the most.
I think
we have some
something
of
is
the most
better than
productive-
nothing.
We have some of the most productive farm ground in the state. I don't think we need to be, so we need to have protections in place for picking
Well,
up.
you don't go very far to see huge solar farms in White County and Clinton
Yes,
County.
yeah.
Clinton County's got 90 acres now.
90,
Well, on both sides, I guess.
it's more than 90.
So they got 3 or 4 of them, that's about 300 or 400
I think
acres.
it's 2,500
Yeah.
acres.
Caspian's got
So that's why I sent an email out last year about this, trying to poke around, getting your guys' ideas, but I think it's time we really get something in writing. And like I said, we had 3 or 4 phone calls this last week.
And they're pushing green energy, so it's gonna expand, it's gonna explode.
Absolutely, and, you know, they're asking all these questions, and again, I tell them, you know, I try to, you know, everything's public, I tell them, here's the ordinance, and I send it to them. Currently, if someone comes in for a home solar panel, they have to give us, some kind of agreement, and they've worked that with either Duke or whoever. It's a usage agreement, and they can't do anything without that, because that basically says they can, trying to think of the technical language for it, but we won't do anything until we have a written document saying, yes, this is okay. It's a usage agreement, per se, and, yeah, interconnection agreement. So if you get a whole field full of those, we don't know if the grid can hold it. So let's just say we get a whole 90 panels or 300 panels. Obviously, we would have to have a sign up from whoever the co-op was, but I think it's important that we at least get going on this pretty quick for protection of everybody. And how we do that, I'm not sure how you guys want me to do it. If you want me to reach out to the other directors and see their language, or GRW, or, you know, this is brand new to us. Like I said, it started in California and it's here.
So you don't have to reach very far.
No,
Across county
just
line.
you can drive range line in Monticello, White County, and you can see them, just like you can, I'm not gonna say the W word. So,
And Clinton County's right off 75.
so, just something to think about, and by all means, throw ideas at me, email them to me, whatever you guys want me to do, I'll get rolling with it immediately, so. I'm glad you brought that up, thank you.
Okay, Cindy's back in time for
The report?
Cindy's report.
I'm just lazy, haven't done anything all month. No, just, back up. Basically, I think, you know, we've had a lot of splits lately and trying to help make sure what should be and what shouldn't be, or what we can do to make it work and things like that, so.
She gets a lot of those, just because if there's any gray area at all, that's what, she's very good at what she does, and you guys know that as well as I do, so. Correct, a lot of them are real easy, you know, you can go up to the auditor's office and look at the books and do all that, but some of them, I'm not gonna lie, I go home and wanna beat my head on the wall, because they will spin you in circles, so those go to Cindy pretty quick. So you even get some of them that stump her, and that's hard to do, so, yeah, she does a great job working through those, so. We just discussed the solar panel.
Oh.
Possibly getting some language in it, since it's pretty much in our factory, so.
Yeah, I live in Boone County, and we've already had to deal with it down there, and so it's, and I'll have access to some possible language to, there's a firm in Indianapolis that really specializes in that, and I know them, and probably can get some ideas on that, yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah.
Anything else from the board? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Well,
I mean, did you have to use everything, right? You got it. 2 minutes.
So you have to have everything on there.